Greetings. Happy Monday. Happy first day of the semester. Welcome to English 1105, Workplace and Technical Communication. I'm your instructor, Brandon Jeter. You could just call me Jeter. So let me give you the rundown about what this course is all about. It is technical communication, focused on technical communication in the workplace. This course will give you strategies for the type of communication that you will do in your jobs. But even more importantly, it's about communication skills and developing them. These communication skills work for workplace, they work for communication between you and your friends, with your family, with your loved ones, and even if you're doing social media stuff. And I'm going to point out the social media aspect of these tips and things that you'll learn because I've had students that came back and said that they use these skills. And they enjoyed the course more than any other course because of what they learned for their social media stuff. So if you're into that, you can use these skills for that. All right, so let's do a little overview of the course. So here is our Blackboard shell. We call them shells. And I'm going to put it in student view so I can see it how you're going to see it. All right, so first things first, go to the Start Here folder, read the syllabus information, check out the technical requirements, and make sure you take the no-show quiz. If you don't take the no-show quiz, you'll be dropped from the course administratively. If you get dropped from the course, and anybody who's on the waiting list can swoop in and take your spot, and if they do, you won't get it back. So take the no-show quiz. Make sure you stay in the course. If you miss that no-show quiz, administration will send you an email so you can get back into the course. But if you're too late with it, then somebody could get your spot. So avoid that, take the no-show quiz. The lessons folder. The lessons folder is where you'll see the lessons and the assignments for each week. For the first week, lessons 1 and 2 are due. For next week, lessons 3 and 4 are due. After the first 2 weeks, once we make sure all the bugs are out of the system and there's no technical difficulties and everybody has the textbook, I'll open up the rest of the course. So if you want to, you can read ahead and go ahead and take the chapter quizzes ahead of time. But the midterm and the final won't show up until it's time for the midterm and the final. So I implore you now to check out the course schedule and set an alert or an alarm on your calendar for the midterm and the final, because if you miss them, it's a 0. And just remind set up your calendar so that you're reminded to come back and take them if you're somebody who wants to go ahead and finish things ahead of time. The reason why we have 2 lessons due for the first 2 weeks is because for the first 2 weeks, the assignments are just reading and doing the chapter test. So for example, you'll read the chapter 1 or watch the mini lesson that I have for you here, read the chapter, and then you'll do the chapter test. The chapter tests are 10 questions. They're short answer, true, false, and multiple choice questions. And when you answer the short answer questions, make sure you use complete sentences. Because if your answer is vague and you didn't state exactly what the answer is, I'm not going to guess what you meant by something. Use your words and state what the answer is as complete as you can. And you can even use the text. Most of the short answer questions you can take right from the textbook. Speaking of the textbook, let's go down to course resources here. All right, so if you purchased the Macmillan Achieve Access from the bookstore already, then you may use the code that they give you to enter, oops, I didn't mean to click on that. You may use the code that they give you to join the course ID right here. It's KVFWX6. You can do that or you don't have to. We're only using the textbook from Achieve or from Macmillan. We're not using their Achieve platform. If you didn't get the textbook or the ebook from the bookstore, you may buy it or rent it straight from Macmillan. And you can use the ISBN numbers that I have here to do that. The ebook is cheaper because it's just the ebook, and it's not Macmillan Achieve, the whole platform. Although the whole platform may make things a little bit easier for you because it reads to you and it has some other tools in there that you can use for other stuff. Or you can, throw in the ISBN for the paperback and order that. It's up to you, but do get a textbook because you need it to complete the course successfully. All right, where were we? All right, so the weekly work is usually going to be, the order is going to be for you to watch the mini lesson that I get for you, read the chapter, and complete the chapter test. Starting at lesson number 5, which is chapter number 5, for every odd number chapter that we do, starting at chapter number 5, we'll have one chapter a week. So week 3 will be chapter 5, and just chapter 5, just that one chapter. But for the odd number chapters, you'll have to watch the mini lesson, read the chapter, do the chapter test, and you'll also have a short memo to write based on the document analysis activities for that odd chapter for that week. So you'll have document analysis activities for chapter 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, and 15. And you'll have to create a memo that answers the questions in the document analysis activities. And when we get to chapter 5, I'll show you how to do memos, and yeah, they'll be easy. But don't forget to do those memos. The memos are a chunk of your grade. A lot of times, students for some reason want to skip the memos and just do the chapter tests, and you can't get an A in the course if you don't do the memos. What's next? Open course. So starting the 3rd week, I'll open up the rest of the course, so you can go ahead if you want to, but you don't have to. Midterm and final, office hours. Where are my office hours? In course resources, you'll see a link for office hours. If you click on that, you see my office hours here. In person, if you want to come on campus, or if you're on campus already and you want to stop in, 2:30 to 3:30 on Wednesdays. Virtually Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Tuesday, 1 to 2, Wednesdays, 5 to 6. And on Wednesdays, I will be online already. So, and I'll, as long as everything works out technically, I'll be online already. I'll post a link so that you can just join. And the weekly video lesson will be playing. And while it's playing or during that office hour, you can come in and type in, ask any questions that you want, and yeah, I'll answer them. If something confused you during the week, during the mini lesson, or if you feel like one of the answers that you gave should have been marked correctly and it was marked wrong, you can have a chance to tell me about it. Oh, wait, I'm not even sharing the screen. There it is. All right, and I think that's it. Let's see, office hours. Yep. So welcome to the course. First things first, work on getting the textbook. You can get it from the school bookstore. It'll give you Macmillan Achieve and access code. In fact, let me show you what Achieve looks like, or what it looks like when you get to in the book. So this is what Achieve looks like. Depending on how you get the book, you might just get access to the Vital Source bookshelf. And the Vital Source bookshelf is how I read the book. And I like it because it'll read the book for you. I mean, that's a plus. You go over here and go to read aloud and hit play.
Chapter 1, Introduction to Technical Communication. What is technical communication?
And it'll read the whole chapter to you. And you can even change the voice. I usually have it on Mark at 3 times the speed.
Communication. What technical communication skills are important to your career?
And it'll read to you. That's the plus about having the ebook. So yeah, you may choose how you want to have the text. All right. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. In the meantime, get the textbook and read chapter 1, go into the lessons folder and complete lessons 1 and lesson 2 by Sunday. All of our work is due on Sundays. So by midnight. So just make sure that you complete your work by Sunday. All right, that's all. If you have any questions, shoot me an email and I'll get back to you later.